We Kenyans wa Kenya imewaita mara ngapi? Now listen to this. I want to discuss about the Adani deal, the Adani Jkia deal. Me, from where I sit, Adani deal is a done deal. Hiyo kitu imesha finaliziwa, everything is intact. What is happening now is not even paperwork. Ni wa Kenya tunapelekwa round and round and round. And why are we be taking round and round and round? Because I think tulionyeshana we are too gullible to do. We are too what? Gullible tunaweza bebo hivi. Now let me give you some points which will be backed by some video evidences to prove that this deal is already a done deal, and secondly, it's not a good deal, especially for the local Kenyan, the local mwananchi, but a good deal to the elite. So, point number one. KAA cleared the Adani group on the day it submitted the application. Do you imagine when you submit an application and the very same day it's cleared? Not even time to look at the papers to decide if this is legitimate, not legitimate, to look for the formalities. That time, the Adani group submitted the application. It was approved the very same day. And this was confirmed by the CS. The CS, before the parliamentary committee, alisema his words, yeye mwenyewe. And even said he himself is also shocked how it happened. And that video, I'm playing it for you right now, CS John Mbadi, akisema hizi maneno. Just listen in.
You know, Adani submitted their proposal in March. I guess March 1st. Yes. Then KAA cleared it on 1st. And it went to the Line State Department of Transport on 1st. That, to me, is a serious high-level efficiency.
Payment was done on 8th? Of the guys who cannot make profit.
Actually, payment on 8th may not be a problem, because actually they should even submit that payment with the proposal. But that speed was too fast. I think that could be left for KAA and the line ministry, because I also engaged my team and asked, hey, this speed looked very fast. But again, you can't use that unless you have any evidence to fault a government, because then what would you be telling government departments?
I think, Waziri, that one we will get KAA to answer.
Please,
since you've also asked, so I think we will ask KAA to come in.
Yeah, you can also tell.
That's how efficient they are. They should not be making losses, and our airport should be running
they
very
should
well,
be making huge profit. And you can tell them that even the CS for finance was wondering how.
Now, another thing, the CSs, especially the CS when you wametoka ODM, now the kina Mbadi and the Johos and the others, these guys watabeba mzigo sio yao, because now John Mbadi anabeba mzigo ya this whole Adani scandal, because for me it's a scandal, anabebeshwa hii. But then there's something we call this kind of problem. To them, it is what we call in business world, we call it a good problem. The reason we call it a good problem is, yes, the CS atapata questions, atafuatiliwa, atakuwa threatened, watu watauliza maswali, why is this happening, things like this, nini. But then, the amount of money he's getting, it kind of comes and now washes all these whole complaints and all this kind of stuff. So that's why we call it a good problem. Yes, our CS wamepata kunangori kwa their ministries. But then there's something they're getting, because there's no way you can accept to be in a job where there's some scandalous things that are going on, and they knew it. The Akina Mbadi knew it, the Akina Joho knew it. They know exactly what hard pain is the government, because these people, they're in the same government. Even if they are in the opposition, they have ears, they have friends in those areas. They know what is happening. So to them, wamebebeshwa mzigo, yes, but they wanafurahia, because to them is a good problem. Now, let's leave that alone. Now, point number 2 that proves that the Adani deal is already a done deal and a bad deal. 2 issues here. It's done deal, already imekuwa passed by the political elite, And secondly, it's a bad deal because it will benefit the elite and then the local mwananchi atakuwa left out. The point is this. Adani Group was given this deal by the government, when at the very same time the government itself, a body within the government, that is I think the Nini, they had also submitted an application of the same, and the application was 27 billion less than what Adani was charging. So that means Adani was 27 billion more expensive, and still the government went ahead and gave them the contract or the deal, because this is a done deal. So why would you do that? Why would you give the most expensive bidder the contract instead of looking at the lowest, or rather the more reasonable bid, actually, because 27 billion more, that's a lot of money.
One by Adani and the other by the Kenya Airports Authority, returned two starkly different proposals and investment costs. And curiously, it says the government chose to go with Adani, which was 227 billion more costly than its own 211 projection, totally ignoring the expert opinion in the process. And this has been a matter that had concerned many Kenyans. Today, the Treasury CS John Mbadi will be appearing before the Senate following Senator Onyonka's question on the statement he sought on the deal between the Indian conglomerate firm and the Kenyan government.
Yes. Now, that was the second point. Now, the third point, and this was also highlighted by Wambushomba, but it was in the newspaper. It was on page, I don't know which page, but the head of corporate at the KAA confirmed during a stakeholders meeting, confirmed that the project should start by November this year.
The head of corporate planning and strategy at KAA, Kenya Airport Authority, Henry Ogoye, has already told stakeholders during a public participation forum early this month that the project should start by November this year. What does that tell you? What Honorable Nelson Koech is saying, that it is just a proposal from the Adani Group. It is not a proposal. These are documents that have already been finalized. If the project is starting in November, how far is November from today? Just about 3 weeks to come, isn't it? So we just can't assume that this thing is what we are getting from the government quotas. No, there's more to this. This PIP thing was done even before the privatization bill was brought in Parliament. Already Adani was in. Already discussions around how Adani is going to come and take over the airport was already done. How Adani is going to participate in our new reforms in the health sector. Yeah. I'm sure you know Adani is in. They are part of the stakeholders that are actually being used to run and implement our new health system, the SHE and the SHA. I think it is the SHA. Yeah. I'm not so sure, but I need to check. So these were already concluded deals. So we are just doing paperwork. And the reason why I'm saying that we are just doing paperwork is because of the kind of contradicting information we are getting from Chilchil, the minister, from the staff at the KAA, from... How did we land on Adani? Did we do the right procedural way of getting these private investors to come and partner with us? How did we just decide on Adani, not the others? Does it mean, I've heard you mention some figures. It is very clear that the figures that Adani has proposed are higher than any other that I had proposed. So how did we rest on Adani if we didn't have prior arrangement? And I want to take you back to this Constitution of Kenya, which is the basis of our argument. Article 201, which you have just cited, but you did not tell us which clause. It's good to be very clear, specific. Under the principles of public finance, there shall be openness and accountability, including public participation in financial matters. To me, that's a great concern. Before we agreed on Adani and settled on them, did we do the right public participation? Openness, like you have said, even in the past contracts that are proposed by government, including even the previous regime.
The project is starting. Already, the Adani Group, they have the deal. They have the project. They have been awarded the contract. Everything is done. Even the paperwork. I think, I think we've been taken around. Kuzungushwa too. That's that point. that proves that the Adani guy already has this deal. Hizi vitu zingine ni madrama tu. And then there's another point, and this I heard it this morning. There's a mheshimiwa who said this is a bad deal, and he said it clearly that he has some information, yes, which does not belong to that platform, but he has some information that this is a bad deal. And let me play you that video.
Kind of thing of Adani, if you look at it, those of us who have some extra information, note for here, this is a bad deal for Kenya.
Because all said and done, it is very clear that 18% is quite such a high rate of return that it just confirms that Adani is here to make money and not for the benefit of.
My dear Kenyans, there's a lot of stuff going on, which is actually you can even go crazy because unasikia huyu anasema hivi, huyu anasema hivi, huyu anasema hivi. But at least majority of Kenyans, we now know that we cannot trust this government. We cannot trust the president because there's something that was trending about the Ford. The president was accusing the Ford of funding the Gen Z demonstrations the other day, and now I think yesterday he was praising them and saying that he'll work with them. You know, there are a lot of things happening, but Kenyans, let's be on alert. Let's know that if we don't take care of our country, no one will. And there's a lot of things happening. Even if you see the whole issue, I think what I would say, the courts, the court inatusaidia sana because yesterday the court stopped the privatization of the KICC and some other entities that the government wanted to privatize, in short wanted to sell. And then that could have been an issue of some people in the government, people who have money, taking advantage of that situation and getting these whatevers, maybe at the proxy thing, maybe at a lower cost or something. It was a scandal. So we have scandal after scandal. Kenya is a crime zone, guys. It's a crime zone. So let me not talk much. I'm your political analyst. Thank you for your time. Asanteni sana.